that we fling money everywhere irresponsibly and by not respecting money.
Hello and welcome to the Feminine as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Monica Yates, a period and ICF certified women's life coach, and I help women to harness the power of their period and connect to their feminine flow. In these episodes, we'll be talking about all things periods, hormones, confidence, health, food, money, sex, business, feminine flow, your brain, energy, and all the stuff that goes through our heads. You will walk away from each episode with new chicken nuggets and truth bombs, as I don't have a filter and I love talking about all the shit that people are thinking but too afraid to say.
Hey ladies, I just did an Instagram live today on my podcast. It's Sunday, like the middle of the day, and I did an Instagram live on my podcast. I did an Instagram live on my Instagram, and thank goodness I was recording it because like my phone exploded, which was really annoying. Not like actually exploded, but the whole thing just like shut down and like it wouldn't turn back on. And it wouldn't charge, and like I don't know what's happened to it. Anyway, whatever. So luckily I actually was recording the whole entire thing. So like as a podcast, which is perfect because it was a really juicy episode, a really juicy like Instagram live. So it's all here for you. And you'll obviously it's like a little bit choppy because I had to like cut some bits out of it when like everything was turned to shit. But any questions about any of it, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you all soon. Okay. Welcome. Okay. So for anybody listening to the podcast, I'm doing an Instagram live at the same time, and everybody on Instagram live, welcome. And I'm excited to chat to you guys and, leave any questions that you have as we go along. So firstly, I wanted to fill you guys in on my flight scenario yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before, whenever the hell I was flying. All the time changes confused me. Because that was like, not a debacle, but it was like really interesting. So I have never gotten anxiety. I help my clients like get rid of their anxiety. Well, maybe I have gotten anxiety, but I don't identify it as an anxiety because I don't like to put labels on things. The reason why I don't like to put labels on things is because often when you put labels on things, you then become like you identify with that thing. And when you start to identify with that thing, it's very hard to pull away from it. And it becomes like this comfort zone, this home. And when things become a home, you then like you sabotage yourself from becoming a better version of yourself because you're like, oh no, but this is comfy and cozy. So anyway, I get stressed obviously, but I've never really gotten anxious about things. But I've been doing a lot of work around opening up my psychic abilities and my just channeling and whatnot. And so I've started to really be able to feel everybody else's energy tenfold. And I was talking to my magic woman yesterday, and my coach, she's like my coach and everything. Anyway, and she was like, it's really interesting. People often think that when you open up to your psychic abilities, it's going to be like all fun and rainbows and unicorns, but it's actually really fucking scary and it can be really difficult. And it was because I was at the airport, and like even the day before flying, I was getting so fucking nervous and like anxious about flying, and I've never gotten worried about flying. But I knew it was my ego. So the reason why I knew it was my ego was that your ego is generally always going to come in with like fear and a lot of intense emotion, and it's going to feel like constrictive in your body, and it's going to feel basically like it's going to basically be like yelling at you with fear. And that is generally speaking your ego. But your intuition is going to feel calm. It's going to feel, your intuition is going to feel like a really soft voice in your head that's very monotone. That's your intuition speaking. So I knew that this fear around flying wasn't my ego, wasn't my intuition, it was my ego. I knew I was going to be safe and whatnot. But it was very interesting because all of my clients the day beforehand, they were all talking about planes and flying and plane crashes. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, I knew I was fine at the airport, but I was getting a little bit anxious about things at the airport. And to the point, ladies, this never happens to me, but I'm not perfect, to the point where I was playing fucking binaural beats in my ears as I was walking onto the plane. Like, I was blaring them to like calm my body down. And as soon as I was on the plane and I was like, we'd taken off, I was like relaxed and fine. But what was really interesting was this lady walked over to me that was sitting in front of me. And the air hostess came over and was like, do you want a glass of champagne, blah, blah, blah. And the lady was like, no, I'm fine. But straight away she came over to me. I was like, she has OCD. And I was like, whoa, where the fuck was that from? Anyway, I was on the plane and I was like, cool, I'm fine. And then I spoke to the air hostess and I was like, just so you know, I don't have a connecting flight, but I'm flying to LA. I just want to check like there's enough time, we're running on time, all that sort of stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, like she's like, oh, it's a connecting flight, right? So if it's a connecting flight, then you should be fine. The bag will go through and you just like change terminals. And I was like, oh no, it's not a connecting flight. I had to buy 2 separate tickets. The reason why I had to buy 2 separate tickets was because I went to Colorado before I was in New York. So I didn't buy a connecting flight home, whatever. I was getting myself so fucking worked up. about the amount of time I had at the airport. This is how bad I am at maths. I thought I had a 2-hour layover, but I actually had a 3-hour layover. So I was like, oh my God, I have to get off the plane. I have to like pick up my bags, and then I have to like go to another terminal, which I actually didn't have to go to another terminal. Virgin was in the same terminal as Delta. And then I was like, I have to then check in, then I have to go through security and like the customs, like passport check thingy mabob, and like all this stuff, which I didn't have to do. And I was getting really like stressed about it for literally no apparent reason, to the point where I had to put myself to sleep on the plane. I was like, I'm just gonna have to sleep. So I just like went to sleep on the plane, and I didn't take anything. I just like put myself to sleep on the plane, and I had a dream that someone was going through my bag, and I landed in Australia, and like TSA had checked one of my bags under the plane. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so getting like really into these psychic abilities that I have, which is fucking awesome, but also like a little bit scary. Anyway, long story short, I had so much time at the airport. I had a fucking shower in the lounge. I like ate food in the lounge. I was like just dawdling, and like I was like doing my clients' work, like editing stuff for them in the lounge. And it was just like really quite fucking interesting. So that was my plane debacle and my flight debacle. And just just kind of like, it really helped me differentiate the difference between my ego and my intuition, which I already knew, but that was like confirming it, because obviously the plane was fine. Even like my flight from LAX to to Melbourne, there was a lot of turbulence at some points, and I wasn't even worried. I was like, oh yeah, we're fine. Like not worried at all. I was just like making up this like shit in my brain. And what's really interesting was that I actually had this same feeling when I was coming home from my gap year, like 2 years ago. When I was flying home from London to Australia, I had this same fear of like not making it home in one piece. And I think it's this like combination of also like you're really excited to go home and see your family and whatnot, and you're like, what if I don't make it? Anyway, it's just like dumb shit. So that was my flight debacle, but that was just one story and one part of this Instagram Live. I actually want to talk to you guys a lot about money today. Money. So I was trying to write an Instagram post on this, and I was like, I just can't get the wording right, and I cannot write this correctly, and I'm just like not explaining myself well, and I was worried people are going to like twist it and take it the wrong way or not be able to fully understand it. So that's why I was like, I'm going to do an Instagram Live talking about money. So the thing that I'm actually, I need a sip of water, hold on. Okay, so the thing that I actually want to talk to you guys about in regards to money is being responsible with your money. So, and not responsible, being respectful of your money. So I feel like a lot of the time, people, especially in like the personal development world or like the woo-woo world, they're all like abundance. And yes, abundance, right? Abundance is fucking everywhere. But the trap, this is especially for like business people that have their own business and are like into this like personal development woo-woo stuff. Not even woo-woo, just like universal stuff, universe energy, all that jazz. What I've noticed is the people that have, hey Karen, hey Ashley. Oh, Ashley, I'm going to see you so soon in Byron. I'm so excited. The thing that I've noticed that people do when they have their own business and are into all this like abundance, like energy work, is they then start flinging it everywhere. And they just go abundance. And yes, there is abundance everywhere. And I'm all for money comes back tenfold. You guys know that. However, we live in a human world. We live in a 3D reality. If you are not grounded and you're always like, oh no, you can see my face a bit better. The light was like so intense before. If we are not grounded in this like energy of being a human, having a human experience, we then are too in like this other world that we fling money everywhere irresponsibly and by not respecting money. So what I mean by this is that you could like, okay, this is why I'm like, I need to do a live because there's like so many layers to this. So first thing is, I was explaining this to my Baba girls the other day, and we're going to go into this a shit ton more for anybody joining Queen Alchemy. We're going to go into it there. What's really important is that you want to know like your top needs. So for example, my top need is comfort. I really need comfort. So that means that's why I fly business class or first class in America. On Virgin, you only have business class, which is like Virgin Australia, which is the airline that I fly. Which is why I find business or first class, which is why I stay in nice hotels, which is why I spend money on good food and all that. And watch like that stuff to me is really important. Comfort is important for my energetic frequency. Now, hear me out. That does not mean every single person needs to fly business class. That does not mean that. Because for you, for example, you might not really give a shit about comfort. You might care more about like education, or you might care, which is important to me too, or you might care more about clothes or getting your nails done or your hair done all the time, or like getting your eyebrows waxed. Now, I don't get my eyebrows waxed. I don't get my nails done, and I occasionally get my hair done, but like only a couple times a year when it needs like a trim. Okay. So I don't actually value my nails, my hair, and more of those physical things as much as like me feeling really high vibration via the form of comfort. Other people will feel high vibration via getting their nails done, having a beautiful massive wardrobe, wearing designer clothes, having 10 different handbags. That to me isn't as important. Like, I need my Celine handbag, don't get me wrong, but I've got one Celine handbag and I'm happy with that, and then I have one designer clutch. And like, that's all I need, because to me, if I have like 10 handbags, then I'm like, that's too many to choose from, I can't decide. So for me, it actually I don't need those sort of things. They're not a top priority for me to feel high vibration. But for me, being in comfort, having a good bed and all that sort of stuff, that to me is really, really important. So when you know what your needs are, you want to be spending your money on those things and not flinging it on other things because you're like abundance. Because that to me is not respecting money. So when I'm paying for a business class flight, that's respecting money because I'm respecting my energy. And money is an extension of your energy. So the reason why I fly business class is because I land with energy. I land ready to do work. I land not getting jet lagged. Like, for example, I slept all of last night. I woke up this morning and I'm feeling fine. And I also create insane content when I'm flying. Like, I literally create such good content when I'm flying. I get so many good downloads. I manifest a lot when I'm flying, all that sort of stuff. And that to me is really, really important. Hence why I fly business class. When you know your needs, you respectfully want to be spending your money on those things. But for example, I don't spend my money on all of those things and buy 10 designer handbags and like all this money and all these clothes and spend all this money. I spend it on important things. Now, this is really important for business people because you don't want to fuck your cash flow for your business. And we actually talked about this a lot more in the podcast I did with Olivia Celine. I did one the other day with her. Okay, so this is where it just like completely dropped out. So now I'm like dropping back in and there's a bit of a choppiness, but I hope you guys just are able to catch on to it. Okay, what are some of your healing modalities? So this is a great question. So my clients, when they want to learn things, they'll ask me this sometimes. And like, I was trained in NLP. So my coaching certification was NLP. And guys, I'm just like, I don't even understand how this is working on my desktop. Hey, Steph. So if anybody that missed my first live, my whole phone exploded and I don't even know where that first live is saved, to be honest, which I really hope it has saved so that you guys can watch it for 24 hours. But if it hasn't, luckily I've got the whole thing recorded on a podcast episode, which I can release like tomorrow. I'll probably release it actually today if anyone that missed out on the first bit. But now I'm doing my Instagram live on my desktop. Crazy, but like loving it. This is about to like change the game for me, you guys. It's just so much easier to read everything. Except, can somebody tell me, did my comment pin? Let me know if my comment pinned, because I don't know how to make my comment pin. I can't even see it somewhere in this live chat thing. So I was trained at NLP, but I do a lot of energy healing. I do a lot of subconscious reprogramming. I do journaling. I do, what are some of my other modalities? I do like so many random things. So I call it my Monica modality. And what will often happen is I really intuitively will take my clients through a process based on what they need. So like even my client before this live, we'll just like be doing something and like I will make shit up on the spot. Like I make up modalities on the spot. I'm not joking. It will just like come through as like an idea and then it just becomes something. So if you're a client, that's why I will say like, I don't have like a name for a lot of things. I'm like this kind of thingy because I don't have a name for it because it's just like randomly made up, but it works. So yeah, my modalities, totally random and it depends on the client. I take them through like separate ones. I don't have like a name for my modalities. It's like a whole pile of random things. Where can I get more information about the Queen Alchemy course okay, Demi, if you go to my Instagram story, there should be a swipe up link somewhere. Like I think there should be still. And if there's not, just send me a DM and I will send you the link. There are a few spots available and I'm going to put up maybe later today. I only have a few more discovery call spots available because obviously I'm running the retreat this week with Asti. So I don't have any spots available this week because obviously I'm MIA, except for my clients. And so there's only going to be a few spots left next week or like the week after. like not this coming week, but the week after for discovery calls, and then it's going to be done. So if you're sitting on the fence, like I would really suggest that you stop sitting on the fence because you're about to like miss out. So there is still a few spaces left, only about a handful. So I highly recommend that you send me a message so we can book you in for your discovery call. Obviously, this is going to be good, like better timing for Australia people. And for America people, it's going to be like your evenings are the best time for me, or early in your morning. Okay. Where can I get more info? Oh, I've already answered that one. Loving this. Great. Cool. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where the pinned comment's gone. It's super random. I don't know how to make the pinned comment. So we're just going to like roll with whatever is happening. We're rolling with it. If my mind can't comprehend the amount of money I want to manifest, will it take a lot more time to manifest? Oh, good question. Yes. That's why when I say to my clients about money, you want to like be writing out numbers a lot. So you want to be really getting like familiar. Like this is actually really important. If a manifestation is scary to you, if that amount of money is scary or it seems out of reach, you won't be able to manifest it. So you have to make these things that you want to manifest, ladies, so easy to get. You want to make that amount of money so easy. You want to make that dream house so easy. So if you're trying to manifest, Kelly, $100,000, but that seems uncomprehendable for you, you won't be able to necessarily manifest. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's going to be much harder because you need to feel comfortable. If you're feeling afraid to be able to manifest that, like it's not going to come into your reality. So what I'd be doing for those sorts of things is like getting really, really comfortable with that amount of money and like getting used to like bougier things, like getting used to higher priced things will actually allow you to then bring in more of those things. Does that make sense? So like the more you get into like calling in abundance and like bringing in a lot of money, you are not like you're going to want to be spending like on larger amounts because it's going to be more comfortable. But if you like can't spend $200 on a pair of shoes, then you generally speaking are not going to be able, because of like confidence and deservingness, a lot of us are very wounded in that aspect. You're not going to want to spend $1,000 on yourself. And therefore, if you can't spend money on yourself, you're not going to be able to like receive money into it because you in a way don't feel deserving to like be spending that money on yourself. So why would you want to call in more? Because like what the fuck are you going to do with it? If you're not spending money currently, why would you call in more? Because money needs to be flowing. Why is 13 a feminine number? Oh, if you go back to, my phone's fucked. If you go back to my Instagram post that I did for Friday the 13th, I think I was in that white swimsuit. I talked about Friday the 13th, but basically 13 is a really feminine number. Friday the 13th is actually Day of the Goddess. Women generally will have 13 cycles in a year. The moon generally has 13 cycles. There are some reasons why 13 is a really feminine number. So Friday the 13th, we actually have 2 this year. We have another one in November or October. I think it's November. And we have 2 at Friday the 13th, which is really cool. So they're the day of like the feminine goddess and celebrating the feminine, and that sort of stuff. Wow, that does make sense. Great. Okay. Any last questions, ladies? Otherwise, I'm going to head off and do some work and start planning some stuff as well. I need to finish off some stuff for the Byron retreat. Any more questions that you guys want to ask me about money or anything else that you want to ask me really quick? I'm going to stay on here for 2 more minutes and then I'm going to go. So last chance to ask anything. How do you draw the line between spending money on what you want to manifesting ending up with no savings? Okay, Jenny, did you watch the first part of my live that then like died on us? I'm just going to repeat what I said before and it's going to be in this podcast that I'm recording at the same time anyway. So the line is that if spending money on something is an expansion, that is like thumbs up. If spending money is a contraction, no. So this is about you respecting money. If you are spending money aimlessly, like just fucking flinging it everywhere, part of it, okay. If you're spending money just on random shit, then you're not respecting money. But if you are like spending money on like things that make you feel really good, like investing in yourself or an amazing holiday where you're going to like grow personally, or buying yourself like new bed sheets that's going to make you feel amazing when you're sleeping, those things are an expansion and they're an investment. But if you are like you know what I've noticed a lot of my clients doing? Spending a lot of money on like stupid food, like snacks all the time. So if you're spending like a fuck ton of money on food and like just dumb snacks, like that is like and like this is unconsciously, that's flinging money everywhere. That's not respecting money. If you are spending money all the time on like late fees or parking tickets, or like you're going out drinking all the time with your girlfriends when it's not an expansive experience, that to me is not respecting money. But if you're spending money investing in yourself, buying like a really warm winter jacket that makes you feel amazing, that's an expansive way to spend money. So the advice between, there are so many expensive courses I wanted to better myself, but it's hard, but it adds up to a lot. Okay, so in those scenarios, Jenny, for that example, this is great. You want to ask what in your hearts is going to seems like the biggest, best, most expansive way to, like, which program feels the most expansive. There's many programs out there, but from personal experience, the ones that are going to expand you the most are the ones that give you one-on-one time and that are live. The reason for that being is, if you always watch only recorded programs that are like deep healing, like for example, my Witch Wisdom program is going to be recorded, but that's not like deep healing work. It's like fun stuff. So like it doesn't need to be live. But for like deep healing, that's actually going to like really get you set up for that expansion, Jenny, you want to be, if you can, be doing programs that are live. That's why, for example, with my programs, and actually I'm going to post about this later today, but ladies, for Queen Alchemy and stuff next year, I cannot guarantee there is going to be as much of a live component. Just purely with the way that my business is growing and that sort of stuff. I love my live stuff, but I think what's going to happen next year is that you're going to like buy a VIP or not a VIP for like Queen Alchemy and the mastermind and stuff. So if you are umming and ahhing and if you're kind of like, oh, I can just do Queen Alchemy next year, if you are wanting the one-on-one, I would highly recommend you do this year's one, just because I can't guarantee that I'm going to have as much one-on-one time. Like for example, I don't think I'm going to do Voxer Access next year. Voxer is the voice messaging app that I use with my clients. So it's like basically I'm in your pocket all the time for the 7 weeks. So you can ask me any questions, queries, concerns. It's like a text messaging. You just like text me. I don't think I'm going to do that next year in my mastermind and Queen Alchemy. So if you're wanting that like really like high touch point, I would recommend you do this year's one. But that's why, Jenny, for example, with my programs, I have a big focus on one-on-one because I just know that my clients get better results with one-on-one time. Like they get better results with knowing Monica knows I'm not showing up to the calls, right? Like they fucking like they get scared of that shit, which is good. But if it's all recorded, you're like, oh, I'll watch it a bit here. I'll watch it when I'm driving here. I'll watch it like when I'm hungover. Like no, that's all. Like I'll skip. I'll like in the recorded programs, I'll just skip the journaling exercises. I'll just skip doing this because I'm getting bored. No. If you just skip shit in programs that are pre-recorded, you're not going to get where you want to go. So Jenny, I would highly recommend that you tune into your heart and ask yourself like what is going to be the most expansive. And from personal experience, I would also ask like what has the most like one-on-one live aspect to the program, purely because I know with myself, like when I buy recorded programs, like I don't fucking do them. Like I buy them and then I don't do them. So I would highly recommend that you do a program that is live and that also you have more skin in the game. Like it costs more, because the ones where you have to put more of an investment in, you will get more out because you show up more. Like if I pay $200 for a course, I'm probably not going to fucking do it. I'll do like one module. But if I pay like $10,000 for a course, I'm like fucking doing it 10 times. So it's really important that when you do programs as well, you do want a lot of skin in the game. Otherwise, you're not really going to do it very well, because like you're like, oh well, it's $200. Like, and even though you might be like, no, like I'm going to respect it. Like, trust me, you won't fucking respect it. But if it was like $2,000, you're going to have a lot more skin in the game, you know. But like the more, the better. The more things that you have to shift to make the investment, the more you're going to get out of it. Is the way it works. And I would tune into your heart. But yeah, ladies, anybody that's thinking about doing Queen Alchemy, just next year's programs are going to have less of, like, they're probably not going to have the Voxer support. So I would highly recommend that you do this one, because I just don't know whether I'm going to be giving as much one-on-one. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next year. So I would highly recommend that if you're on the fence, you just do this one, because I guarantee, what I can guarantee is you are going to get more one-on-one time this year over next year. Is like pretty much a guarantee. Okay, as in like next year it might be the same, but it might also not be the same. Whereas this year you 100% are getting a ton of one-on-one time as usual. Okay, any other questions, ladies, that you want to ask me about anything? Anything else? Anything else? And I will, I'll pop up this podcast that I recorded, today, because I don't know whether that Instagram live saved that I did beforehand, before my phone crashed and like blew up. So you guys will be able to listen to, thank you, Steph. Steph did the last round of Queen Alchemy. So she's just said, just do it, ladies. Thank you, Steph. Can you see if you scroll up? Oh, I had one. Okay, let me look. Yeah. I can tell I have emotional wounds and blocks, but I haven't figured out exactly how to pinpoint them so that I can get help. Do you have advice on figuring out what's bothering me? So yeah, the advice is you need to hire somebody because you can't figure out your own blocks. Think about it this way, ladies. Like, you know, in a car, like you have your blind spots and you can't see your own blind spots. You have to look in the rearview mirror. I am your rearview mirror. Like, I am the thing that's going to point shit out. Even before with my client, before I jumped on this call, she was talking to me about like morning routines and we were just like going through shit. And she's like, I've always tried doing it, but it never works. And then I just pointed out something to her and like said something to her. And she was like, holy fucking shit. And like, she can't see that for herself. Like, she cannot see that stuff, but I can see stuff from a very different perspective. And my intuition is on fucking point. And I'm obviously trained in this stuff and I've done it for a while now. So when you have emotional blocks and wounds, you won't know how to pinpoint them. That's why they're fucking wounds and blocks. If you knew what they were, you wouldn't have them there. The reason why they're still fucking hanging around is because you don't know them. They are secret. They are hidden. Okay. So yeah, if you actually want to properly get rid of blocks and wounds and that sort of stuff, you need to hire somebody else because trust me, you cannot figure it out for yourself. That's why I have a coach because like I can't figure out my own shit. Like I can't see my own stuff, right? Other people can see my own stuff. Okay. Any last things that you guys want to ask me? Otherwise, I will head off. And any other questions about Queen Alchemy or anything, you can ask me. So in Queen Alchemy, you clear blocks related to feminine energy. Do you also clear blocks related to money and also childhood traumas? Yes. So the difference between Queen Alchemy and the Mastermind is I've got a really itchy nose. Queen Alchemy, Jenny, and everybody, Queen Alchemy is more about sexuality and money. It's more about clearing blocks around feminine expression in terms of like sensuality, being really in your body, like that sort of sexy feminine energy, and a lot about money. The Mastermind is more like, hey, Shannon. Oh, Shannon also did Queen Alchemy. The Mastermind, and she did the Mastermind. The Mastermind is more about like boundaries, people pleasing, like life stuff. Whereas Queen Alchemy is like different archetypes. It's all about sensuality and sexuality and sex and orgasm and money. So, Jenny, yeah, we clear a lot of blocks in relation to childhood traumas because trauma will also shut down your ability to be fully expressed in your body because you won't feel safe. Like trauma blocks you from feeling safe, ladies. And all trauma is stuck energy. So you can have trauma from like your dad or your mom saying no to you one time. You can have trauma from like, you know, being bullied at school. You can have trauma. Like trauma doesn't mean you had to be raped or see somebody get killed. Like trauma can be like smaller quote unquote things. All trauma is stuck energy in your body. And that's going to block you because if you don't feel safe in your body and safe to surrender and whatnot, then you'll constantly be in this like really subconscious fight or flight. And then you can't be in your feminine because your feminine is your body and your masculine is your head. So yes, Jenny, we do a lot of clearing of blocks. Like the way that I do my work isn't just like talk. It's actually a lot of doing. It's a lot of processes. It's not you just learning and becoming aware. It's also like clearing shit and like making new habits and stuff. Okay. Very welcome. Good days and good vibes only. What's the best way to normalize menstrual cycle? I'm assuming balanced hormones you mean. I would go to some of my podcast episodes, Andrea, and I would also, I hope that you bought that bundle that was out. That bundle was insane. And my Turning Off Your Period Problems program is all about that. But I would also recommend actually, I've got a ton of blog posts on it. And my period tracker, the FemFlow journal, ladies, that FemFlow journal, at the beginning of the FemFlow journal, it's got like a guide to hack your cycle for the ultimate balanced hormones, like depending on your symptoms, heavy period, painful period, whatever, blood clots, endo, PCO. It's got like a guide of things to be doing. So I'd also get that because it's got everything in there, Andrea. Okay, ladies. Well, it was lovely spending so much time with you guys. It's been like an hour. I hope that the previous Instagram live worked and like saved. If it didn't, I apologize. For anyone that didn't know, my phone like just blew up, but I recorded the whole thing and I'm going to upload the podcast later for you guys today. So I'll literally edit that now and upload it. And then you guys can listen to the first part of it if you missed it. If anybody wants to book in their Queen Alchemy call, please send me a message. If anybody wants more information on Queen Alchemy or has questions about it, also feel free to send me a message. But you guys can, there's a ton of testimonials on my website. There is, Shelby's editing some video testimonials that I received, which is amazing. There is a ton of testimonials and like social proof on those highlights. If you go to my highlights, there's a highlight for the mastermind Queen Alchemy. There's 2 highlights for the mastermind because like I got over 100 of it. Like in each highlight, you can only have 100 like highlight thingies, like slides, and there was over 100. So there's 2 mastermind highlights and there's a Queen Alchemy highlight and there's like a coaching one. So if you go through those highlights, you can see all the results that the women were getting in the group, and that's obviously a taste of them because like it's like has to be written down. I like my clients were just like, they just blow me away all the time. So if there's any other questions, you can let me know, but we start really soon. And this is the last program I'm running for the year. So I'd highly recommend that you do it. Also, this is the end of the decade, guys. Next year is a new fucking decade. How insane is that? So if you want to end this decade as, is it a century? No, it's a decade, 10 years. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. If you want to end this decade as like the most sexy, feminine, abundant, in your body, out of your head version of yourself, I'd highly recommend that you do Queen Alchemy or come to New York. Either or. If you have any questions about anything like that, let me know. Oh, and I am taking my last one-on-one client for a shorter container between now and like the middle of December. So if you're wanting to do one-on-one because you want more of that like personal support, let me know as well, because I do have 1 space left for one-on-one that I'm taking between now and December, which will finish off. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Shannon said 1,000. That's not even 1,000. That's like 1 million, or maybe it's 1 billion or trillion. Recommend. Thank you. If you are wanting to do one-on-one work with me, also feel free to do that. I love you, Shannon. I love you, Steph. I hope you guys are super well. Any of my other clients, I just love you all. I miss you. Seriously, I fucking miss my like old mastermind girls and the old Queen Alchemy girls, and I'm going to miss the Academy girls. I love my clients. I feel like we just create these little families, and like I fucking miss them. I actually really fucking miss them. Maybe I'll do like a little, like we could do like a little Zoom catch up for all of us together. That'd be fun. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for joining. I'll put this thing up later, the podcast, and anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an incredible sleep or morning if it's Sunday or it's the middle of the day now, depending where you are in the world. I just love all of you, and I'm just like really grateful for everything and really grateful for you all. I'm really grateful for all of you that joined. Yeah, have a good day. I like don't want to leave because I like love doing these things. Have a good day. I think I need to go buy a new iPhone, which is really annoying, but whatever. Thank you for your time. You are so welcome, Andrea. I guess I'll talk to you all later. Bye. I hope this saves. If it doesn't save, it's all recorded in a podcast, okay? But I don't know whether this is going to go up or not because this is actually recorded on my desktop, which is so random. I don't know how this can be done, but we did it. Bye, everyone. Amazing. I hope you guys loved that. I loved doing it. It was really fun. And I wanted to just quickly jump in. When Leah, I know Leah, and she was like in a child work as a dick, she meant as in like not that it's bad, as in like it can be painful. And the thing is, the longer that you leave it, the more painful it will be naturally, because like the more you have of it because you haven't healed it when you're young. That's why I love it when I have young clients. Like I love my old clients because not old, but like older, because I'm an old soul. So I really feel like I connect with them a lot. But when I get like 18, 19-year-old girls like coming to me doing the work, they've saved the money and whatever, it like makes me so fucking happy, because I'm like, you're healing this when you were young, which means you have less healing to do than if you waited till you were like 35, 40, and you have then the rest of your life to be like fully in alignment. Like how fucking good is that? It's amazing. Anyway, so I wanted to just clear that up in case any of you were confused about that. She messaged me after and she's like, shit, Monica, I did not mean like to offend you, blah, 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 which I knew she wasn't mean to offend me. I assumed she meant it was like, it's hard. But anyway, I wanted to just let you guys know about any of that. All right, I will talk to you all soon. Bye.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got lots of chicken nuggets out of today's episode. I would be really, really grateful if you'd be able to leave me a review and a star rating that you think is appropriate, hopefully 5. And if you could share this podcast so that I can help more women live a life of flow and ease, I would be so fucking grateful. Make sure you tag me in it on Instagram so I can personally thank you, because I know so many of my clients have found me literally because their friends have posted about my podcast on their Instagram story. And I just want to help as many women as possible. So by you sharing it, I would be so fucking grateful, and I'm sure your friends would be too. If you do want to welcome me, please do check out my website for all those details. And of course, you can DM me on Instagram with any other questions. If you have any podcast things you want me to talk about, any ideas, any feedback, I am always open to it. And I always love hearing what you guys have to say. So please don't hesitate about that either. I will catch you on the flip side. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are.